Interplanetary Post is a game of empire building for 1 to 5 players.
The game, the board, and your choices are made from 108 cards, each of which can be used as one of many different ways. So your first goal is to get parts for your ships. Each ship is made up of a black card for engines, a gray card for cabins, and of course a white card for the nose cone. When you have all three parts together, it's a ship and it's worth 10 points. But if you only have one part or two parts, it's only worth 2 points. So how do you get these parts? You do those by completing shipping lanes. Whenever you complete a shipping lane, you get a spaceship part of that type. Shipping lanes are made up of 3 adjacent planets that you've claimed. They can be diagonally or go left and right or whatever you need to do. When you place the last flag, you flip over one to the base side and take that route as a spaceship part. Another cool thing is that putting routes in makes various aliens happier with you and moves you up the influence track, either 1 or 2 spaces depending on the alien that you place. This is another way that you can score points and potentially win the game. The downside of flipping over to the base side is that you can no longer use the planet to make lanes, so you'll have to move on to new territories and farther across the map. The shipping lane you put out came from your hand a turn or two ago. Whenever you want to place a shipping lane, you need to declare one of the cards that you are working on. When you declare it, you place the shipping lane and also add on 2 planets from the deck of cards next to the board. This means that the board is constantly expanding and you can control how it expands so that you can complete your future lanes. Once the planets are part of the board, you can discard cards from your hand to place flags on the matching colored planets. So, how do you get cards? You can take an action to draw 2 cards from the 2 stacks of cards. When drawing cards, you can see quite a bit of information on which cards you are drawing by looking at these at the back. The planet colors are blue and red, so that means that if you draw this card, it will either be a red 2 card, because it has 2 alien heads, or 1 blue card, because it has 1 alien head. If it is 1 card, it will have a white route and can make a nose cone. You can see this by the borders. If it is a 2 card, it will have a diamond trade good cargo bay. Alright, let's say you drew that cargo bay. Trade goods, what are those for? In order to get points for trade goods, you must have the matching trade good cargo bay. You play them in an action similar to how you play routes. Once you have a cargo bay, you get 1 point for every flag on that type of trade good planet, or 3 points for every base that you have on that type of trade good planet. Trade goods are great for end of course scoring when you don't have quite enough time to finish another spaceship. Another bonus is that you may be able to add onto the board from the deck whenever you play cargo bay, so sometimes you might just play them to help finish lanes. And really, they're worth 2 points in themselves, so that's pretty good too. In all, players have 4 actions to choose from every turn, and they get to do 2 actions. They can do the same action twice, or 2 different actions. They can draw cards, they can place or upgrade bases, they can play lanes and expand the board, or play cargo bays and expand the board. The game is over when one player draws the last card from either deck. Because players choose when to draw and which deck to draw from, players can throttle the game based on when they want it to end to the best their advantage. What's awesome about this game is the various ways that players can use the cards. Every card is useful in its own right, and because you can predict the probability of cards, you are given some control over which cards come into your hand and at what time. There's also a ton of depth and different strategies packed into a game with many choices on even the simplest of actions. Do I spin the card when placing planets? Do I use a 2 card for the cargo bays I need, or more planets, or to upgrade flags into bases? Which one will help me in the long term? The game plays in about 30 minutes and is a great medium weight game with minimal components that could fit in a very small box. Give it a try on the workshop and Tabletop Simulator in the description, or contact me at Richard at 64 Ounce Games if you're interested in giving it a test run. Thank you for your time.